Thank you, Mr. President. أصحاب السعادة، الزملاء الأعزاء.
Excellencies, colleagues, I am from Lebanon. Lebanon is a country rich in history and rich in diversity of its civilization, its free market economy, its education system. Lebanon is a country rich with intellectual potential and human competencies that go beyond borders. Over time, Lebanon has always been the standard bearer for cultural freedom and freedom of expression. It was a leader, a pioneer of journalism and media in the Arab world. My country has faced civil war. It has defended freedom with courage. My country, Lebanon, knew how to restore peace and to keep itself as a model of cultural diversity and a haven of coexistence and mutual respect amongst its 18 communities. My country, despite the lack of resources, is a model of compassion and generosity. This has been clearly demonstrated through the number of regions of refugees we have hosted. I have not just read about war in books or watched it in movies, I've lived it. I know how it feels to abandon your home at a minute's notice, leaving everything behind. It happened to me. I know the cost of the loss of life and of destruction. It was all around me. This is the environment I grew up in. This is the experience that made me who and what I am today. A woman committed to peace and human rights, and who believes that dialogue and diplomacy are the best options to secure them. I believe UNESCO has to be a haven for dialogue and cooperation between people, nations and cultures. It is when dialogue ends that problems begin. This is why I have relentlessly built bridges and brokered solutions to some of the most sensitive issues faced by UNESCO over the past 20 years. And that is why, as Director General, I want to dedicate my international experience, my knowledge of multilateralism and my institutional memory to continue to do so. I will endeavour with fairness and tenacity to build on what unites us and through UNESCO secure a peaceful and bright future for our children. I'm greatly indebted to St. Lucia, which gave me the opportunity to be a member of small island development states and of the group of Latin America and the Caribbean, my two adoptive UNESCO families that I cherish and that have greatly enriched me. Dear colleagues, as you must have noticed, in my vision statements I insist on the tremendous impact of the connectivity era. Our lives and societies are already greatly affected, but it is nothing compared to what is coming. That is why we need UNESCO to be a haven for the dialogue on the ethics of the connectivity era. We have to review our deliverables and make sure they are still relevant. We should also improve the efficiency with which we implement them. 2030 is tomorrow. To achieve the SDGs, we need to act now. How can we harness the possibilities of new technologies and their impact on jobs and professions, on stability and sustainability?
We face. How do we equip our children with the right skills to find sustainable jobs and professions in 2030? In the coming decades, many existing jobs are expected to disappear due to automation. New ones requiring higher skills will be created. While the jobs of tomorrow are still unknown, we have an idea of what skills will be needed. First of all, education policies and planning, teacher training and curricula have to evolve to equip our girls and our boys with 21st century skills such as creativity, entrepreneurship and innovation, and critical thinking, problem solving and decision making, and digital and media literacy. Secondly, the profile and image of Tibet need to be upgraded. The connectivity era will require higher technical and vocational skills than before, as well as lifelong learning. Thirdly, science, technology, and innovation education will be more crucial than ever, especially for girls. An STI-driven skills revolution is what we need, as Africa 2063 agenda calls it. Yes, access to education for our girls is a priority. We cannot expect growth and sustainability if we leave half of the world behind. The second challenge is how to ensure our children live in peace in inclusive societies and sustainable planet as free and responsible citizens. I believe social, human and natural sciences, as well as culture, communication and information, all need to contribute with education to peace, equality, and sustainability. This means we need to protect and promote human rights and freedom of expression across the board. Our youth should become intuitively aware of the impact of their behavior on their environment and the adverse effect on the sustainability of their planet, their biodiversity, their water, and their oceans. Let our youth also develop a cultural intelligence, the capability to relate and work effectively across culture, an intelligence based on their love for culture and heritage, enhanced by creativity and cultural expressions, and doubled by cultural diversity. All this has to be addressed holistically in education for sustainable development and global citizenship education, which, by the way, does not mean uniformity. Diversity is what makes this world wonderful. Dear colleague, the war and its aftermath also taught me how to deal with lack of means, the lack of stability, and lack of certainty. I became resilient and learned to adapt to all situations. These capacities are important for anyone who wants to lead UNESCO today. UNESCO is facing difficulties to consistently and effectively deliver measurable results. Being an intellectual organization should not stop us from grounding our intellectual input in concrete results at grassroots level. Moreover, the connectivity era calls for a paradigm shift in the way we operate, how we remain relevant. How can we remain relevant when 10 signatures are needed to circulate a letter and 6 months before a budget code is released to start an extra budgetary fund project? We need to plant the seeds of an e-agency to streamline, simplify, and speed up processes inside and enhance efficiency, effectiveness, and outreach of the organization outside. We need to use the technology to broaden our base expertise through crowdsourcing, and we should resort to crowdfunding, reaching out to many to contribute. Finally, we need to expand our delivery capacity by tendering third-party suppliers closer to the field. Funding is directly related to credibility, transparency, and accountability, and to enabling environment to donors. That is why I believe fundraising has to be done in a holistic way at the level of an organization and by professionals, as I explained in my vision. Dear colleagues, I believe the Director General of a UN agency should be first and foremost a leader, a person with a clear compass, strong determination, and high energy at the same time as a team player. A famous African proverb says it all. If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. The role of those who lead at the very top is to inspire change, but transformation can only happen bottom up. As Director General, I would want to inspire and empower everyone working in this house. I don't believe in using the staff. Instead, I will encourage them to use their talents, to be creative, experiment, innovate, and entrust them with clear tasks for which they are responsible and accountable. Over the year, I have spoken to many of them. We should listen to their insights. They know the results for many of the problems. My candidature is motivated by my strong attachment to this organization. It is born from my deep conviction that I have the vision, the right experience, the personal qualities to make the difference. I lead by example. I don't make promises I cannot keep. I walk my talk. Thank you, Mr. President. Dear colleagues, excellencies, I want to bring clarity. I want to bring transparency. I want to bring efficiency and integrity. My aim is not to make UNESCO better, but to make it one of the best. I think we can do it together. Dag Hammarskjöld used to say, don't measure the height of a mountain before you arrive to the top. Then you will realize how low it is. I think I would like to invite you to climb this mountain with me. UNESCO is not a bank, is not a development agency. We produce ideas. We have produced in the past great ideas. It's not all about money. Great ideas cost nothing. We need to bring back this spirit of coming with great ideas in order to move humanity forward. Depuis 20 ans,
over the past 20 years, I have said time and again here in this organization, every time there's an election, I have said this, every time there's somebody who's being hired, I've always said this. The interests of the organization should take precedence over all other considerations. Merit, competence, qualities, all of these things take precedence above everything else. I am a woman of principle. And it's not because I'm a candidate sitting before you today that I'm going to say something different. I fully stand by what I've said time and again in the past. Now, I would like to say that my country, Lebanon, and my region, the Arab region, is overflowing with talent, is overflowing with competence, with knowledge. And this region also embodies values. This region is eager to be at the service of this organization and to be at your service after waiting for 70 years. Thank you.